Okay, Penelope and Colin have a lane. They have carved out their lane. They have a superlative. Most satisfying first time in Bridgerton history. I loved everything about that scene, so much so it's why I'm reviewing episode 5 instead of waiting to watch all of the episodes. Loved everything about it. It was so satisfying. There was curiosity, there was exploration, there was limitation with Colin saying, no, not there, not yet. There was excitement, there was communication. He communicated what was about to happen. She was shy and assertive. He told her to lie down and she laid down, but she wasn't going to lie down because she was like, tell me what to do. And he said, no, I'll do everything. And she was like, no, tell me. She made sure that he understood that she wants to participate as much as possible, which is how we got, him talking her through, what was about to happen. He made sure, and then there was verbal aftercare with him checking in and being like, was that good for you? Was that all right? It was satisfying in a way that could only be because we know Penelope, because I have watched her for these 3 seasons. It's similar to Benedict in the sense that like I have gotten to know him the most prior to his love story. So I'm like legitimately excited to watch his story. Whereas the others, like I enjoyed them, but like I didn't know nothing about them. I just watched what was being presented to me. I'm rooting for Benedict. I'm actively rooting for Penelope. Colin, but I really enjoyed this episode and I really enjoyed this scene. Ryder Colin was on full display in the same scene where he was telling her about herself. I love when he tells her that you make me feel seen in a way that I've never, or in ways that I've never felt seen before. That's so important for Penelope because she is the wallflower. She's the person who not a lot of people, care about what she thinks. I'm not going to say no one cares about what she thinks. Eloise does care what Penelope thinks. I'll get to Eloise, but let's not, downplay that and act like Penelope is just completely downtrodden and nobody cares about her. Eloise does care about her. Let's not prop up Colin to that extreme. No. But it's special that this man who she thinks is the most special man in the world essentially says to her that like your gaze like lifts me up, like your gaze has such an effect on me, your gaze is that special, like your perspective of me is that special. I loved every second of Penelope in episode 5. Nicola sold Penelope's dream state in like the first half of this episode. The way Penelope was looking like she was here a little bit, but mostly she was in the clouds because her walking through the Bridgerton halls in the first scene, like the continuation of the carriage scene, walking through the Bridgerton halls with the knowledge that Colin is her man, that only existed in her wildest dream. So for him to be leading her, holding hands, both of them know what's going on, dream state. I love that Colin's announcement of their engagement was mostly drowned out because it fully immersed me in Penelope's mindset and in the frame that her feelings were in. Now, as for Penelope's other relationship, Eloise, I like Eloise. Also, Eloise is selfish. She is selfish. She is self-centered. She talks a lot, but she reads a lot, but she's got no life experience. And nowhere was that more clear than in her, I think, first scene with Cressida, where Cressida is explaining like she's gonna have to marry this old-ass man. And Eloise really has nothing to say. And no, you don't need to be like a world traveler or like super adult to be able to comfort a friend. But when Eloise is preoccupied with something that's going on in her life, she is preoccupied with something that's going on in her life. And that's pretty much all the time. Whether that's chasing Whistledown, worrying about Whistledown, being disgusted about the ways of society, like she's always preoccupied. At the same time, with this whole like, threatening Penelope thing, it's actually delicious because when she gave Penelope that deadline, which I was like, as soon as Eloise gave her that deadline, I'm sure Penelope had a bad case of needing to use the bathroom because that anxiety was real. I was like, isn't this delicious for Penelope? Because, Colin's so sensitive, right? Colin is so sensitive and like deserves the best and shouldn't be lied to. This was so important that When she gave Marina the same warning and Marina didn't do it, she blasted that lady's business all over the ton and like defamed her or whatever, her good name, because she was pregnant uh out of wedlock or whatever, because she was pregnant. And now here she is, lying to precious, sensitive Colin. And Eloise really has no, I mean, Eloise's own hurt aside, she's coming at this from the same point of view that Penelope was, right? It's the same love for Colin. And of course, Eloise talking about stuff like, not only are you lying to him, but I'm like him too. That's Eloise. We know that's Eloise. But like, it's just such a beautiful karmic position for Penelope to be in, except her benefit is that Eloise has no publication where she can blast her ass all over the ton. Cressida stands up to tell everybody she's literally, Cressida, sit back. Cressida, sit back down, because what are you going to do when the queen asks for proof? Because the queen is going to ask, you're going to ask Eloise to help you. And given the choice, Eloise would throw Cressida under a bus and drive over her to save Penelope. Let's be real. The probability that she won't throw Cressida under the bus is only growth on Eloise's part. But Cressida, I mean, I see the plan. I see the desperation. They laid it out for us, the freedom. She don't gotta marry, all that stuff. But Cressida, against the queen, when she's penetrating you with that squint, okay, Cressida. And then last but not least, we have Francesca and Lord Kilmartin. They're cute, as usual. Just, laying low in the background as is, befitting their personality. Lord Kilmartin, he did have a story to tell, and it wasn't so much funny as it was like profound. He did bring it around town, and make a point and help, Violet see. But yeah, like he's not like the other guys who, can laugh on cue and all that stuff and be fake. Like he is who he is, and he is Francesca's man. So we're off to a great start with the second half. I'm going to continue. I hope to finish all of this tonight, if I can.